Breaking news in South L.A. where a car has hit a building.
Stu Mundell and Sky 9 are live over the scene. Stu?
Juan, Lena, car clearly out of control, hitting at least two buildings out here in the South Los Angeles area. You see the car came to a stop right there up against that house. Now this is happening at the corner of Vermont and 57th Street. LA City Fire out here on scene. They did take the driver of that car to the hospital, clearly injured. You can see some of the damage on the first building that car hit before landing where it ended, where it stopped. Right now, LAPD, they've got some questions for that driver. They'll be talking to that person at the hospital, and an investigation on how this crash will get underway. Live in Sky 9 over South Los Angeles, I'm Stu Mundell. Back to you two in the studio.
Hi, are you Nassim? Hey, so you were reported as missing.
Police body cam video just released shows the YouTube shooter talking to officers just hours before she opened fire at the San Bruno campus. Good afternoon, I'm Lena Nguyen.
And I'm Juan Fernandez.
Now, police in Mountain View found the YouTube shooter sitting inside her car in a parking lot early on the morning of the shooting, and now they've released the body cam video to show what happened.
KCAL 9's Sandra Mitchell is in the newsroom now to show us more. Sandy?
Well, police are trained to detect if the people they question have been drinking, on drugs, or are mentally unstable. But this video really does look like a routine police interaction. Of course, we all know what happened just a few hours later.
How long have you been here in Mountain View?
I left home. I came here 2 days ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
38-year-old Nassim Aghdam was asleep in her car when Mountain View police approached. She's quiet, non-confrontational, politely answering the officers' questions. Police explain that her family in San Diego is concerned about her.
I guess they called San Diego Police Department and reported you missing.
The scene is a Walmart parking lot. Just 10 hours later and 30 miles away, Aghdam opened fire on the YouTube campus. First, she shot 3 people, then killed herself. But in this interaction, she assures police she's okay.
You don't want to hurt yourself, do you? Or you don't want to hurt anybody else? You don't want to commit suicide or anything like that, right?
She does say she will not return to her family in Southern California.
Are you ever planning on going back home? No? Okay, fair enough.
Then officers laugh. She gives them no reason to be concerned. They explain they'll be updating her parents.
So all we're gonna do, we just had to make sure that you were okay. So we have to call your dad. We're just gonna let him know that you're fine and you wish not to be contacted.
And after 10 minutes, they walk away with no indication of what she was planning. Mountain View police did contact her father to tell them that she was okay. Her father says he explained then that she was upset with YouTube, but Mountain View police did not have any more contact with Nassim Aghdam. Juan?
Sandy, thanks. A woman's body has been found near the search area in Northern California where a Valencia family's SUV plunged into a river. This morning, a search and rescue team found the body about 7 miles from where the Tetopolis SUV went into the Eel River last week. The body has not been identified yet. Investigators say Sandeep Tetopouli, his wife Sumya, and their 2 children, ages 9 and 12, were traveling from Portland, Oregon to San Jose. Deputies say the fast-moving current is making the search much difficult.
For a river to move 14 miles an hour, that's substantial. The power and weight being able to push to that with that power is enormous.
A witness told investigators they saw a vehicle trying to pull over, but it rolled down the embankment last Friday. Heavy rains may have contributed to that accident.
Scary moments for actor Will Ferrell after a serious crash on the freeway. He was traveling from San Diego back to Los Angeles. KCAL 9's Michelle Geely is live in Mission Viejo with how he's recovering. Michelle?
Well, Will Ferrell, thankfully, is out of the hospital this afternoon after this horrible crash. His car flipped over on its side. Ferrell was in an SUV limo with 2 of his colleagues and his longtime driver. And here at Mission Hospital behind me, 2 of those people are still admitted here this afternoon. Will Ferrell was evaluated by an Orange County Fire Authority crew a few feet from the wrecked SUV limo that flipped in an accident last night on the 5 freeway in Mission Viejo. A total of 4 people, including the actor and his longtime driver, were in the Lincoln Navigator when it was hit, according to the CHP, by a 22-year-old Fallbrook man. Ferrell's car crashed into the center divider before turning over, officials say. A colleague of Will Ferrell, identified by officers as Carolina Barlow, was not wearing a seatbelt. She was badly injured. Ambulances took them to the 2 closest hospitals.
He was more concerned about the female passenger and the other occupants in the vehicle, so he had genuine concern for all these people.
Ferrell, famous for his movie role as TV anchorman Ron Burgundy, dressed the part Thursday night in San Diego at a Get Out the Vote event called Glam Up the Midterms. The group was headed home to Los Angeles when the crash happened. Video at the scene shows Will Ferrell on a cell phone before he was taken away by paramedics.
Mr. Ferrell was wearing a seatbelt and he suffered minor injuries, non-life-threatening.
Will Ferrell and one of his colleagues have been released from the hospital. His agent tells me, quote, Will is staying close by as his friends are being treated and has expressed his deep gratitude to the first responders who were immediately at the scene and to the hospital team that took such great care of them. According to the CHP, Carolina Barlow had major injuries. According to the folks here at Mission Hospital this afternoon, she is in fair condition, and Will Ferrell's longtime driver is in good condition. Live in Mission Viejo, back to you.
Michelle, thanks so much. More breaking news now here at 4 o'clock happening in South Los Angeles, where a tree is on fire.
Yeah, Stu Mandel, above in Sky 9, Stu.
Well, it just shows you when it gets a little bit windy and a little dry, things start to burn out here in Southern California. This is happening down in South Los Angeles, right at the Van Ness Park. Just a little fire, LA City Fire just arriving here on scene, got our attention in the helicopter. We put it on the air, showing you that, you know, public safety, that's what it's all about. The fire now under control, but it was at the Van Ness Park area. 1 or 2 trees just burning this afternoon. LA City Fire out here putting it out. No injuries to anybody. Live in Sky 9 over South Los Angeles. I'm Stu Mandel. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Stu, thanks so much. Strong winds all across Southern California. Toppled trees causing damage to cars and to homes. KCAL 9's Cara Finstrom shows us the damage in Beverly Hills.
Crews went to work early this morning, cutting up and lifting an 80-foot-high pine tree off a multi-million-dollar Beverly Hills home.
We just heard like this loud, sound like a big accident.
Giovanni Garcia does security work on the block. He saw a man rush out of the back of the home looking for help.
He realized, the tree was like right on the top of the house, and he couldn't get out.
That man did get out safely. Fire crews and a building inspector then checked the home and yellow tagged it, which means for now, access is limited. Powerful gusts have toppled trees all across our viewing area. Cars were crushed in Sherman Oaks and in South L.A.
It was a disaster waiting to happen.
Neighbor Peggy Pollock says she was concerned about the trees eroding bark and emailed the city a picture of it when another pine toppled near her house, narrowly missing it.
I told the city when they came out 2 years ago to please look at the other trees, and they did remove 2 other trees.
A city representative tells us crews are now checking out all the trees here on Lexington Road. Now, we also spoke with the homeowner. He came back with his family. He tells us there were 4 people at home when that tree came crashing down, and he's grateful to the crews who went in and brought them all out safely.
And I saw this huge tree going back and forth, and I never seen anything like that in my life. And then it, boom! It made like an atomic noise. It was so scary. And thank God nothing happened to us. And I want to thank Beverly Hills Police Department and the chief of the fire department.
And clearly a lot of work needs to be done here. But again, that homeowner just stressing how grateful he is that everyone got out safely. Reporting here from Beverly Hills, Cara Finstrom, KCAL 9 News.
Wow, what a mess. It's calmer out there now, though, and meteorologist Craig Herrera is now here with info on the winds. Craig?
Hey there, Lena and Juan. Yeah, most of the winds have all died down. In fact, right now they've even switched direction. They're coming in out of the northeast, and that's giving us some clear conditions and beautiful conditions right along the coast in Santa Monica. People out and about enjoying the sunshine and the beach, and the surf is down as well compared to yesterday. So that's good news. Here's the wind direction, sustained at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, and it's that dry Santa Ana wind. Temperatures are way up compared to yesterday. 81 in Van Nuys, 83 in Fullerton, 81 in San Bernardino, and 82 in Ontario. Compared to 24 hours ago, yeah, about 5 to almost 15 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. There goes the system that gave us the wind. This high pressure is going to build in, give us a nice warm weekend, but hold tight. This system here is going to give us cold winds on Monday. I'll explain in just a bit. Back to you.
Greg, thanks. President Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, is himself the focus of a criminal investigation. In court filings, federal prosecutors say a criminal probe led them to raid Cohen's offices this week. Prosecutors blacked out the section describing what crime they allege was committed. A federal judge told Cohen's attorney his client needed to be in court on Monday to help answer questions about his law practice. Lawyers for Cohen want the court to order prosecutors to temporarily halt an examination of material that was seized at the FBI raid of Cohen's office. They claim it's protected by attorney-client privilege. Prosecutors say Cohen barely practiced law, so most of the documents aren't off limits.
President Trump responded this morning to the new tell-all book from fired FBI Director James Comey. The president tweeting in part, James Comey is a proven leaker and liar. He is a weak and untruthful slimeball who was, as time has proven, a terrible director of the FBI. It was my great honor to fire James Comey. At today's press briefing, the attack on Comey's credibility continued.
The American people see right through the blatant lies of a self-admitted leaker. This is nothing more than a poorly executed PR stunt by Comey to desperately rehabilitate his tattered reputation and enrich his own bank account by peddling a book that belongs in the bargain bin of the fiction section instead of being remembered as a dedicated servant in the pursuit of justice. Like so many of his other colleagues at the FBI, Comey will be forever known as a disgraced partisan hack that broke his sacred trust with the President of the United States, the dedicated agents of the FBI, and the American people he vowed to faithfully serve. One of the President's greatest achievements will go down as firing Director James Comey.
Comey's book is set to be released next week.
Bill Cosby's accuser takes the stand in the comedian's sex assault trial.
Plus, shocking new details from the investigation into the death of a family of 8 drove off a cliff in Northern California.
Lawmakers to the rescue after the governor failed them. Kentucky teachers get a reprieve.
Already following CBS LA on Facebook? Follow these steps to make sure you continue to see our stories on your news feed. First, click on the triangle pointer in the top right corner of your Facebook page. Select News Feed Preferences. Then click Prioritize Who to See First and select CBS LA.